By the end of this video, you will have mapped out your price, structure, and package of your offering. So you'll know exactly what you can sell and are prepared to have your first clients. This way, you also get ahead of a big mistake I see a lot of new coaches make: overthinking the details of your package so that, the actual getting clients part gets postponed way longer than it needs to be. And that's why step number 1 is to get your package structure out of the way fast. The best way to think about it is zooming out to remember what a successful coaching business is all about: the transformation that you can deliver. So you want to center your structure around that idea. How long do I need to help my client get an amazing result? What I recommend, and this is what I personally did to grow my first coaching business to 6 figures in the beginning, is to offer a 90-day timeline for your clients. That's enough time to get your clients some powerful transformation, but not too long so that suddenly a package that you sold a year ago is still dragging on. It's kind of like dating. You don't want a first date to go on and on and on, because what if you don't like them? Or what if you've changed what you're looking for in a relationship, but 6 months later, you're still on that first date? That would be pretty awful, right? It's the same thing with your first few coaching packages. In my opinion, 3 months is the perfect amount of time to deliver on what you're promising and also give yourself the freedom to change how you operate or wrap up a relationship if you think it's not a good fit. Next, in terms of what you actually do with this time, the key is to make sure that you are holding you and your client accountable to making progress. Offering weekly coaching calls is a fantastic way to start doing this. Anything from 45 minutes to an hour is ideal. That time is long enough to cover what your client needs and get into the action steps for the next week, but it's not so long that you're going to get caught up in unnecessary details. In between calls, I'd also offer some form of support. You could do text, email, Voxer. They all work, so choose the tools that work best for you. But if thinking about that sounds super overwhelming to you, think about it this way. Some clients will take advantage of that extra support, but a lot won't. Either way, whether they use it or not, it helps your clients feel super taken care of, which is definitely the vibe you want. In fact, I have a Luisa-ism for you. Over-deliver and then deliver some more. Because the truth is, right now in the beginning phases of your coaching business, you are not trying to be the most efficient business owner in the world. In fact, you are not trying to maximize your business to the nth degree. Now, don't get me wrong, you will get to that. But in the beginning, you are learning too. And just like new students deserve time and grace to learn a new subject, you also deserve the same to figure out how you want to be a great coach. But obviously, you still need to get paid for all the hard work you're doing. That being said, this step can feel really scary, especially if you've never personally charged for your expertise. It can also bring up a lot of imposter syndrome, like, who am I to charge that much? If that's going through your head, I am going to make it really simple for you. Pricing ups the stakes for you and your client so that you can do better work and, pay your bills, and so that your client can be more committed and get better results too. That means that by charging a good price, you are creating a win-win situation for everyone, which is kind of the whole point. In case you're wondering what price to charge, I'm just going to tell you. I recommend pricing a 90-day package at $1,500. You can also offer a monthly payment plan option as well, but if you do, I recommend adding a slight upcharge, like making it $550 a month for 3 months to account for the added stress and work of being able to offer a payment plan. Now, with this price point, I often get asked, does this apply to my situation or the current economy? And my answer is yes, because in the beginning, you are not optimizing for profit yet. You are optimizing for learning and speed. This price point is high enough to attract serious clients, but not so high that it becomes a bottleneck for you to make sales. You don't even have to use this exact number if you don't want to. Now that you understand the reasoning behind my recommendation, you are of course free to choose a number that you feel better meets that criteria for you. But don't overthink it. If you catch yourself starting to do that, just go with this price. Remember, you can also change it whenever you want. And by the way, it's this kind of flexible thinking that is so important in the beginning of your business, especially when it comes to step 3, deciding what to put into your package. This can be tough because the truth is you are not gonna get perfect clarity until after you've worked with at least a few clients. And I'm telling you this now so that you are not frustrated or overwhelmed when it comes up. Instead, you are prepared. You may know your material like the back of your hand, but when it comes to teaching it to another human being, it is going to be different. Back to our dating analogy. You can practice in the mirror what you're gonna say about yourself or what questions you're gonna ask. But once you're in that restaurant with all the noise and the nerves and the adrenaline, it's just not going to be the same. Because first dates and our clients have questions, thoughts, and emotions that you just can't completely anticipate. That's why instead of sitting down and creating a super detailed plan before you even work with a single client, I recommend simplifying the process and instead focusing on results, not details. Because the truth is, that's what your client cares more about anyways. So ask yourself, what is the ideal result I'm gonna help my client get within those 90 days? Then work backwards. What benchmarks do you and your client need to be hitting every month to be able to get that big result? Let me give you an example, because I know something like this is way easier said than done, and I am all about making things as simple as possible for you. When I first started out in my current business, the first big end result I was helping people with was clarity. Because that's what they were struggling with when they hired me. They wanted to start their own coaching business, but they didn't have a clear idea of what to do or how to do it. So in month 1, my goal was to help my client find their business idea, get clear on their audience, and understand exactly what they can help others with given their skills and experience. Then month 2 would be all about building engagement with the goal of, by the end of month 2, you will have engaged with X amount of clients. And at the end of month 3, the goal is to have at least 1 to 3 actual clients. When I structured my package this way, the value was super clear. When you hire me for my coaching package, you are going to go from no idea, no business, and no audience to a growing business with clients by the end of 90 days. But that does bring me to a super important side note before we move on. The truth is, no matter how good of a coach you are, you can't guarantee results for your clients because they have to do the work. So from the beginning of my coaching business and to this very day, I would always make it clear, I am gonna meet you every step of the way and give you all my considerable knowledge and experience, but you have got to be responsible for your own results. And this is not about shirking responsibility. The truth is, it's about being honest. With that super important aside, moving on. Because notice, I didn't iron out all the details. For example, I didn't have a step-by-step guide created for how I was going to help that client build engagement or build out their business, which actually brings us to step number 4, taking clues from your clients to build the best package possible. The key to doing this well is to notice the patterns. For example, you're gonna start noticing that your clients always ask this question on the first call and then usually have this question on the second call. Eventually, as you piece those patterns together, you're going to build a set plan for how you approach each call. Plus, you won't need to spend hours preparing for each call either because you will have learned from experience how each call is going to go. But I'm also not saying you won't need to prep at all. Every client is gonna be just a little bit different. It's just that you won't need to feel unsure about your skills going into the calls. You can spend just 15 minutes preparing and you'll be able to use the efficient system you've established to help your clients hit those benchmarks. Then, as your confidence and coaching ability grows, you will be able to decrease the number of calls or maybe change the timeline of your coaching package. You'll also be able to raise the price, streamline the process, or hire a team. You can even move into group programs and courses. The possibilities expand so much once you get the basics of your coaching package down. And now you have all the tools you need to create your awesome coaching package today. So high five to that. I am not kidding when I say it does not need to be complicated or overwhelming. But I also understand that actually getting your first clients can feel like a whole other challenge. The good news is, it also doesn't have to be. In this next video, I will show you how and where to get your first paying coaching clients in just 3 simple steps.